After President Abraham Lincoln died, his coffin sat in the East Room of the White House, where the mirrors were completely covered with cloth. No, this Abraham wasn't Jewish. There actually is a long-standing belief in many cultures that evil spirits lurk in reflective surfaces, eager to escape into the embodied world. The House of Mourning has been seen as a potential portal because it straddles life and death, and people have draped mirrors in fabric to plug up that passageway. But for Jews, this tradition has additional, less supernatural meanings. During Shiva, the first 7 days of mourning, we turn inward. It's not a time for vanity, for checking how we look. We ought not prettify ourselves to cover up our grief, to dress up our exhaustion. People should see us as we are. There's also a theological idea here. If every person is made in the divine image, when a person dies, the mirror ritual marks that the divine image has been dimmed. In Judaism, we also speak of hester panim, the times when God has hidden God's face. When we lose a loved one, we may feel that distance from God. In our grief, it might feel as though God has withdrawn temporarily. Covering our mirrors might signal that separation. In the first phase of grief, we are not necessarily prepared to face ourselves. Some of us have suffered terrible losses. People whose presence shaped our milestones, whose absence can make us fear our future without them. Parents, lovers, children, soul friends. There's a gentleness in a tradition that shields us from taking that all in at first. Then time passes and the mirror covering comes off. We don't return to normal. We can't. But Judaism has us return to seeing ourselves. That's deliberate and holy. I've come to wonder if we mask the mirror so that we can have the sacred experience of unmasking it again. What happens when we look into that glass after losing a loved one? How can we make the most of coming face to face with ourselves? First, we might perceive those who have departed looking back at us. Maybe we shared physical features with them, the shape of a smile, the color of an eye, so that we see similarities when we look in the mirror. We're told that our patriarchs, Abraham and Isaac, resembled each other, apparently so that no one could doubt that Abraham, despite his age, was Isaac's father. But resemblance isn't just physical. It's behavioral. It's spiritual. Many events in Isaac's life were echoes of his father's. They both confronted famine. Both faced kings. Both dug the same wells. Maybe, just maybe, when Isaac looked into the water, he saw more than his reflection. He saw his father's presence and strength. Maybe he saw how their lives were linked together, recognizing the connection and continuity that his very being represented. Our faces, too, can be maps of lineage and love. Looking in the mirror and seeing the one you miss symbolizes that that person is not, in fact, gone because you live. You bring them with you everywhere you go. In addition to visiting with the past, looking in the mirror gives us a chance to see our new selves, where we are in life at this time, in this redefining moment. When someone important to you dies, it can be the end of an era without that parent, that partner, that light in our lives. This may be the start of something unfamiliar and unmooring. Our roles in life, Our status in our family or community may have changed. We are different. And we can ask, who do we want to be? As we live our lives in the months ahead, looking into the mirror can serve as a spiritual check-in, a place to see where we're headed and who we're becoming. Are we living a life worthy of the legacy they've left behind? Would they see us pursuing a path worthy of our potential? Does the person in the mirror need to make a change? And finally, there is the simplest aspect of looking in the mirror. Everyone's timeline is different. But at some point in our process of mourning, we have to look at our physical selves. How am I really doing? Have I been taking care of myself? And what would my loved ones say about that? I imagine most of them would lovingly but firmly say, I'm gone, but you are not. Don't disappear with me. Sometimes we need the mirror to remind us to brush our hair, if we still have any, to drink water, to go outside, to pursue an existence that shouts l'chaim, to life, because that is the legacy we inherit, a life worth living. We too are the image of God. It would be a sacrilege to let that languish. When the Israelites were wandering in the desert, they followed a divine cloud. When the cloud would descend, they stayed still, just like we do in grief. When it lifted, they knew it was time to move forward. The mirror covering is our cloud. And when we uncover it, we aren't forgetting. We're following the light of those we love into a future that they helped shape. Right after a death, there's something useful about the productivity, all of the tasks you need to complete, to make arrangements and announcements. It keeps you busy at a time when you might otherwise just shut down, when the loss is fresh and acute. But then the world grows quiet, and it's just you and the mirror and the question, how will I live my life in a way that honors theirs but sustains mine? Looking into the mirror can be an ongoing ritual to check in, give thanks, and prepare to live once more. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for a blessing.